Alright guys, Slum guys, Slums, Wrestling for here. Let's hit it. So my sister's over here again for her husband. I'm gonna play that Blade game one more time and then
Then let us begin our duel.
holy shit!
Please draw a card. We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. The first move is yours. We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. Then I'll make the first move. Divine Bolt! Well played. An excellent duel. Then let us begin our duel.
It can never go below.
Please draw a card. Then I'll make the first move. Mirror. We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. The first move is yours.
I got the hang of this game.
We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. The first move is yours. I didn't expect that. Divine Bolt! Divine Bolt! Divine Bolt! An excellent duel.
I need to stop playing
Then
this
let
game,
us begin our duel.
This game is fucking bullshit, man.
Please draw a card. The first move is yours. We're evenly matched. Let's redraw. Then I'll make the first move. Divine Bolt! Mirror. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. Divine Bolt!
I think you're being...
Well played.
What?
I didn't expect that.
Hey, come on.
We're evenly matched. Let's redraw.
Fuck.
Then I'll make the first move. I admit defeat. Well done.
Woo. Wow. It's beautiful. What a spectacular view. The rye planted last fall seems almost ready for harvesting. Not thought rye could only be harvested in the fall. Well, the soil in this area is supposed to be extra fertile due to a warmer climate, so things are a little different here. The view really is amazing. It looks like something out of a painting.
The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. This transcontinental train is bound for Crossbow. The next stop is Keldick. Keldic. Passengers traveling to Bereahard. Please change trains at this stop.
Almost there. Guess I should wait and check the Sarah. Oh, looks nice. Kill that market town.
Wow, so this is Keldic.
It seems like a really relaxing little town, though there are a lot more people here than I expected.
I imagine they've come for the Grand Market. Even merchants from other countries regularly come to see it.
Sounds like this place is as popular with the tourists as the capital then, but for a whole different set of reasons.
Keldic's also widely renowned for their local beer, which they make using rye. But you're all still minors, so I'm the only one here who gets to drink it.
Are you trying to make us jealous?
We don't really care, you know.
Anyway, let me show you to the inn. It's, right over there.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, well, I hadn't expected to see the Purple Lightning herself in such a quaint little town.
Purple Lightning?
And the chicks with her seem like an interesting lot, too. Ah, no time for that now. I have more pressing matters to attend to.
Hey there, Margaret. Well, Viz and Sarah, what are you doing here? I knew the kids were coming, but I didn't think you'd be coming with them. Well, I just figured I'd help them get settled in before I left. And here they are, my lovely students. Well, now, aren't they a useful-looking bunch? It's a pleasure to meet you. We're first-year students from Thors Military Academy, Class 7. I'm Rean. I'm Melissa. Thank you for putting us up. The pleasure's all mine. I assure you, I'm Margaret, the owner of this humble establishment. Sarah here has taken care of all your arrangements. Come, I'll show you to your room. Thank you, ma'am. I'm much obliged. Yeah, would have been. I'll leave you to you, Ben. Louise, can I get some beer and snacks? I'll bring them right over. You do know it's not even noon, though, right? This is a room you're all going to be staying in tonight. Wait, we're all... Yeah, this is... more than enough space for our needs, thank you very much. But there are 4 beds, which means, are you suggesting we sleep in the same room as the boys? I had my doubts about that too, but Sarah insisted, so that was that. I put the beds in groups of 2 to make things less awkward, but that was about the best I could manage. No, I don't. This is going to be a problem. I don't have a problem with it personally, but I can't imagine the girls will be quite accepting. Listen, I don't believe we have a choice here. We're military students. We mustn't allow the prospect of mixed gender combinations to phase us. I know that, but in the Army, women share rooms with men. It's a fact of life form necessity. You'll need to adjust to this reality sooner or later, and this does seem a perfect opportunity Okay, I get it, bastards. Yeah, but if either of you two comes anywhere near our beds, I would dream of it. Likewise, I wasn't talking about you, Elliot. I was referring to a certain someone else who already had a history of this kind of thing. Maybe if we chain Rean to their bed. Whoa, I thought she'd gotten over that. I guess not. Anyway, now that your room's all sorted, let me give you this. Isn't that our academy emblem? Does this contain the details of our assignment here? That's what I've been told. Yes, fucking bastard. Yeah. Well, if you need anything during your stay, you just let me know. For now, I will leave you settled in. But yeah. Alright, shall you have a look inside? But yeah. Okay, let's see what we've got. Let's say assign tasks. Okay. I've run out of some of the agreements. I need to make a particular mess, and if it'll be very appreciated, please speak to me in public, Sir Bull. I need someone to replace my function orbit light and a road lamp for me. Dangerous monster has appeared near the highway and is making it very difficult for us to harvest our crops. He's not annoying. Yep. Study area is defined as a 200 cells radius around the subject. Each student must. No. So let's start field studies. It looks like she looks a medium task to me. There's a monster elimination quest at least, but that's the most we have. I see, so that's her angle. Excuse me, did you figure something out? Oh no, it's nothing. We should go on and talk this over with Secretary. She's probably stuck around, especially to answer any questions we might have. You may be right. And while we're at it, we can grill her about this communal room she signed us up for too. Yeah, this is peculiar. I want to die. Yep. The opportunity to you, Sarah. Come on, don't give me that. That person will throw away the opportunity to enjoy beer this good. Every last thing that should be coming from instructor's mouth, seriously. Looks like it seems like it'll be hard work for you all. Your things hopefully help you through. Oh, look, see, Liz, thank you very much. And no worries, take this recipe too. It's nice and simple, so give it a shot sometime. Good luck out there. Oh. Cheryl's having a grand old time over the counter if you're looking for her. True, because they're so graciously sometimes. I should be used to it by now. Sorry. Seems like restructuring stands for all the wrong reasons. Part of me expected as much so. I love this place. So where we or you just don't care. Let's ask her for more information on Celine. She's in for some rigorous questioning. You're being. I'm not sure what the fuck I have to do. I need to stock up on eggs, buddy. Okay.
Alright, let's get started. Made by yours truly.
I'll do what I can. Not bad.
Alright, let's get started. Made by...
Okay. Alright, I'm saving scum of this shit. Fuck this, man. Fuck all you people.
Okay, let's give this a try.
Oh, no.
What even is this?
Okay. I'm sorry, I just got real lucky there with rain. Like, that shit was crazy. Like, wow.
Nothing hits the spot quite like a cold beer.
She looks like she's having the time of her life.
How many pints has she downed already? It's not even noon.
Oh, you kids are still here? I'll just be hanging back and enjoying myself, so go on ahead and get started. Don't mind me.
We have questions for you, though. What's with these field study tasks?
I'm glad they're not as difficult as I was expecting, but they're just so...
Well, it makes sense you'd have some doubts. You only need to do the ones it says are required, though. Feel free to just ignore the rest if you want. I don't care. Up to you how much or how little you want to do.
Stop being so irresponsible and...
Wait. These kinds of decisions are as much a part of our field study as the tasks themselves.
Oh, what?
What do you mean?
You have 2 days. Trista isn't far from here, so you'll be returning to the academy tomorrow evening. Until then, you can spend your time here however the four of you see fit. Every decision rests on your shoulders. I won't be forcing you to do a thing.
Okay, so what's up? You have this look in your eyes, like you've pieced something together. Well, this is relating in some way to our free day this past week, specifically to your activities that time. Now that you mention it, exactly. I spent this free day doing various tasks on behalf of Student Council. One of them involved going back to the old school, as well as for just simple tasks for assistance from the locals. In other words, exactly the sort of thing we've been asked to do here. By the time I'd taken care of everything, I felt like I'd learned a lot about Kristen and Kevin. So I think we've been given similar tasks here for a similar reason. That would definitely make sense. I mean, all I know about Cedric is what I've read. There's actually probably a lot we can learn by actually coming here and helping people out like this. Indeed, the land of Erebonia is quite vast. This may be an invaluable opportunity to gather local knowledge of a place we may otherwise never have visited. Exactly. So whatever various and sundry things and Sorcerer Sarah may have planned for us, I say we just work our way down the list, immerse ourselves in Celtic culture, taking in as much as we can. Sounds good to me. Count me in. And this actually sounds pretty exciting. Let me put it that way. Shall we depart then? The party sounds very tactically, much like Rean's speeders. The feels of these can be from request notebook. When all tasks Rick might have been complete, sort of events don't have any class listed with a short time limit will become invalid when this happens. Yeah, I got really lucky with that. Wow, look at all the people here. Yeah, it really is bustling. I guess there's a reason people come from all over to just visit. Go over there. There's even someone performing. I can see myself spending hours here. I see no harm in taking this opportunity to shop, as long as it's done in the process of completing our field study test. Yeah, it would be a waste not to see what all this town has to offer. We'll just have to make sure not to get carried away. Yeah, see, I'll just, Oh, how wonderful. Oh. Oh, ceramics one. Rewrite Roger, this place basically even looks, yeah, all really nice. Small bit will be soon. Go here and people buy on fair price too. No, thanks.
Wow, check out all these stalls!
I ended up getting a free book while I was shopping earlier. I've already got too much to carry home as it is, though. Oh, you can have it. Revenue Chapter 2. Hey, bucket move. Are you my friend? Fresh ham here, nags and stuff. Sounds like Sarah will love. No kidding. I can see her spending all her money here. Let's keep quiet about it. Funny accent. You see rivals this year. I want to know. Sorry. Brown and Beal. Okay, so I was hoping to buy some shit here. Only the green stuff I can buy. I'm Arthur. It's just a bunch of fucking honey syrup, buddy. Welcome. I can offer you some skeleton. It goes by the name of Michi, and it's a mascot for our park over Crossville. You might want to purchase one now if you're interested. They're quite popular and are going quickly. Okay. Shit.
Mishi? I admit it has a certain charm.
Good straight here. Rivero or we'll go by him. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, right. I gotta find it. My daughter started. There's an her name was Becky. It's a wee girl whose head is always thinking about Mira. Well, try to tag along with her and see your spot at the Academy. I will do. Love your sales. This guy. Can you tell this guy? I don't even believe you're answering that. Holy shit. Fuck. Carneo, Chapter 1, The Imperial Chronicle. I stood there upright in front of the revolving door, scuffing the heels of my boots against the ground, pulling slightly on the collar of my trench coat. I dropped my chin and gazed at my partial reflection in the curved glass. Aside from my short cropped hair, I wore a modest-looking double-breasted leather raincoat and a pair of special order steel reinforced boots, both of which at first glance appeared to be the most common of common apparel, yet they were in fact much more than a naked eye could detect. My ordinary average appearance, it was of just as much importance today as it had been on any other day in times past. Not far off, the sound of footfalls echoed rhythmically like the steady beat of a pendulum, swinging back and forth as the throngs of those coming and going moved quickly along the cobblestone avenue, developed and tinged silver by the morning mist. At times, the calling voice of a street peddler disrupted the steady flow, but as soon as a hawking cry faded, it would resume its course. Each morning that I found myself setting foot in the Imperial City, I also found my surroundings to be unchanged and stained by the same somber tone of gray. Snatching up a magazine from the underarm of a street vendor, I tossed a few meters into the left hand, poised expectantly behind his back. The Imperial Chronicle, the magazine I read so often that even the ink bleeds were familiar. Roughly flipping open its cover, I scanned the headlines along the top of its monochrome pages, then suddenly my breath caught in my throat. At the very bottom of the local news page, I found those letters, that sequence of characters which I had not heard nor seen since the time of that life-changing instant. My eyes instantly gravitated to the spot and for a time remained fixated. Ein Selnate. The very meaning of those letters became lost to my senses as I stood motionless, my gaze fixed on the same line of text until it all seemed to coalesce into a single blotch of ink. After a few seconds of blank comprehension, my vision settled and I wrenched my eyes to the beginning of the article. As I began to read, my memories verged on a single point in my path and then slowly started to run in reverse, heading for that fateful event 3 years prior when this name was first introduced to me. It was on an afternoon all those years ago, on a day not unlike this tone, where the capital was overshadowed by its typical gloomy aura. I was a little younger than now, a 22-year-old man who stood silently in front of the boutique store as usual, double-checking his appearance before lightly treading over to Meat's Imperial Factory. It was on this day that it had been arranged for me to receive a new job from Meat, the shop owner himself. Although he was a drab middle-aged man, I, being the ornament enthusiast I had found myself as one of his few regular customers. I headed down a dank alleyway, and after passing through a partially rotted wooden gate, I could see the soft glow of a flickering orbital light just outside the entrance of the factory, whose structure was halfway below street level. I first began receiving jobs from Meat about the time when dissension began to occur inside over the 100 Days War. It was during this period that relations between the Liberal Kingdom and the Empire were at their worst, and importation of ordnance had become almost non-existent. In spite of underground elements and planning a smuggling operation, Mitch made me out to be his accomplice in crime, but the job which I received by his hand was never other than that of a courier. Being nothing more than a commoner in my teens at the time, I met him in a juvie devoid of any connections in life besides. I naturally jumped at the opportunity without a moment's hesitation. And even after relations with Liberal had returned to some degree of normalcy, I realized I was in no mood to give up my specialty, which focused mainly on the delivery of stolen goods. The reason being there was no job out there which could not bring in the kind of mirror this one did. With an unrefined, inconspicuous appearance, I had countless times before hidden items of various sorts in my hat and trousers and made my way hither and thither between the borders of these neighboring nations. And though, to my delight, my wallet had become increasingly laden with a bounty of monetary rewards, and I routinely changed my alias as a precautionary measure, so much in fact that these false names have built up into quite a list over the last few years. I have been known as Phil the Frivolous, Rooney the Trickster, and even Chris the Coward. However, Mitch had always called me by one name, Toby. This was the identity I had used for my initial job and the one I liked above all the others. Okay. Cornelio chapter 2 train says, "Hello there, Toby. You've come at just the right time." Greeting me with these words, Mitch shuffled slightly in his seat behind the counter. The big confection he had been eating was ever so carefully placed atop his lap to prevent it from falling onto the floor. He smacked both his powdered, sugar-covered hands together with a clap, and a cloud of white particles puffed into the air. The smell of sweet spices and baked apple pervaded the dimly lit shop. "We had an item dropped off no more than a few minutes ago," he continued. Turned his fucking seat. Mick reached back and snatched up something wrapped in old magazine paper from off the shelf, tossing it to me. Knowing full well I wouldn't get any sort of answer, I asked anyway. "What do we have this time?" Laying out my railway and airship tickets, Mitch ignored my question and said, "Make sure this gets to the same place as always." In his slow drawl, he added, "It would be in your best interest to keep your involvement to a minimum, leaving the business side of things to me and focusing solely on getting the job done, Toby." He leaned back in his chair and let out a deep sigh, and the balls of his fingers kneading the bags under his eyes. And once again, his large hand extended down toward the unattended cake resting on his leg. Before the sweet treat could reach his watering mouth, I had already made my way out the door of his tiny shop. As I walked, the waste paper bundle package bounced around inside the folds of my bag. By the feel of its shape and weight as it beat steadily against my side, I concluded that the object in my possession was probably just more swag. It didn't make me nervous not to know what it was that I was carrying, for I had done this type of job many times before, and no matter what kind of trouble I found myself wrapped up in, I'd always somehow managed to come out unscathed. In truth, my experience on the job had made me tough, and I had become well versed in the art of orbital magic. So it was that when I laid my eyes on that rough-looking trio at the station, I felt no more knots of uneasiness in the pit of my stomach than was necessary for some of my abilities. The platform for the train bound for Libero was bustle with passengers awaiting its eventual arrival. Seeing the benches were so crammed full of people that they could have very well been a tin of packed sardines. I resigned myself to standing near the entrance as I patiently waited for the train to come in. Twisting my spoilt body in order to move the bag to my other shoulder, I noticed the figures of two men. Heads bent together and conversing in an audible tone, they stood just beyond the ticket gate, right about where the horse head of the imperial emblem lay embedded in the ground. In a grand mosaic of titles, after a short interim, another man approached and joined in the conversation. From my own perspective, there was one ragtag group I most certainly couldn't have given a passing grade to based on looks. All three were extremely well built and sported the same haircut. To put it mildly, they stuck out in the crowd like a bunch of sore thumbs. Making sure to avoid eye contact with them as they glanced in my direction, I slung my bag onto my shoulder and ever so calmly reached my hand into my pocket and ran the tips of my fingers across the surface of my orbit. A woman's voice reverberated with the walls of the station, notifying the passengers that the train had arrived. The low rumble of an orbital engine could be felt in the distance, and after a few moments, a large vehicle was seen rolling up on the shoulder. I muttered to myself, all is well, but the sound of my voice was drowned out by the din of the massive machine. Brakes screeched, and a flash of black light flickered off the surface of the giant iron beast as it came sliding in across the rails. Immense vibration in the air emanated from the moving locomotive as epicenter let me know that the orbital engine had been put into full reverse in order to decelerate and bring the train to a grinding halt. While being shoved to and fro by the waves of impatient travelers flooding out of the waiting area, I was swept toward one door of a passenger car. As we passed by the corridor, I caught another glimpse of the ticket gate. The men who were once there were now gone, and the only thing that remained was the profile of the horse made of glossy tiles glaring back at me in a shade of deep crimson. Okay. Whatever, man. Chapter 2, Vampire Hunter. Let's see. As the world blurred, he caught a fleeting glimpse of a geometric shape pass before his eyes. It was the sole of a boot moving at incredible speed. With a bone-crushing thud, the woman was thrown aside, and Alphal's field of vision filled the night sky. Free from the woman's grasp, he coughed fiercely, sucking in as much fresh air as his tortured throat could manage. "Are you alright?" asked a clear voice beside him. The source of it was a second woman who he was certain had not been a moments ago. She wore a navy blue overcoat paired with a matching navy blue beret. Her ash blonde hair reached as far as her neck, and her feathered features were dignified, but they still retained clear vestiges of childlike innocence. As a guest, she seemed to be roughly the same age as Alphonse himself. Still busy processing the recent events, Alphonse made no reply to her query. The woman watched him for some time before coolly stating, "You appear to be mostly uninjured, at least. I'm glad to have arrived in time." Seemingly satisfied he would survive, she turned away and studied the crumpled form of the woman who had attacked him. "That," she said with a note of distaste, "is a ghoul. A thing a person becomes after their blood has been drained by a vampire." As she spoke, she kicked her left boot against the ground, and tap, tap, tap seemed to punctuate each word. It appeared to be the boot that she had used to kick the woman ghoul away from him. As he followed the restless drumming of her boot, he suddenly thought, "Vampire? I have no issue with you idling about, but I would prefer if you stood aside before doing so. You are in my way." Her words were sharp. But no sooner had she said them than a creaking sound filled the area. The ghoul, which had been motionless on the ground while they were talking, was now slowly rising. Its contorted body lifted from the cobblestones using only the power of its legs. It was a grotesque spectacle and utterly unnatural, and if the ghoul was bothered by the earlier blow, it showed no sign. Without warning, the ghoul suddenly kicked at the ground like a wild beast and propelled itself towards them. Alphonse jerked to his feet and leaped forward to shield the blonde woman. The exact moment that the ghoul's nails reached Alphonse, the blonde woman behind him calmly put her hand in her overcoat pocket. In one smooth motion, she drew something out of it. It was a long, thin rapier. Its surface was a radiant silver polished to a mirror-like shine that reflected the smoldering glow of the red moon. Without a moment's hesitation, she stretched the rapier forward. Its pointed end flew past his neck, piercing the ghoul's throat effortlessly. With an equally smooth motion, she withdrew the blade. The ghoul fell to the ground and didn't move again. The menacing aura it had been radiating dissipated into nothing. Alphonse stood fixed to the spot, dumbfounded by what he had just witnessed. A small trickle of blood ran down his neck where the rapier had grazed it. "I do believe that I told you to stand aside. I suppose you must not have heard me." Sighing, she took the ghoul's blood from her weapon before returning it. She shook the ghoul's blood from her weapon before returning it to its scabbard. "After all, if you had heard me and acted that way regardless, I would be forced to conclude that you are most foolish indeed." Her blunt words and composed expression finally brought Alphonse back to his senses. I was just trying to keep you from getting hurt, but never mind that. What's going on here anyway? Who are you? And why was that woman trying to?" He had intended to finish his sentence with the words, "eat me," but the possibility of what might have been was too terrifying to voice. What was clear to him was that the woman before him had saved his life and stabbed the ghoul to do so. Looking at Alphonse's confusion expression as he wrestled with the situation, she gave her sigh. "You appear to be a member of the military, I presume. Then you are familiar with so-called vampire murders?" "Yeah, of course." "Well then, if I were to tell you that those vampire murders really are the work of a vampire, would you have believed me?" Alphonse gasped at her. "What?" Without answering, she turned away from him and walked over to the ghoul. Gently, she lifted it from the ground so that Alphonse could get a good look at the face. What had been a terrifying creature just moments ago was now a woman again. Her expression was completely peaceful. It was hard to believe she was the same woman who had attacked him earlier. "Look closely here," the blonde woman instructed. She points at the corpse's neck, specifically at 2 red dots on its surface. They were completely consistent with the marks on all of the other victims of the vampire murders. It certainly looks like a vampire bite, wouldn't you say? She said this as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. Alphonse still looked puzzled, but she ignored him and continued. Humans who die as a result of having their blood sucked by a vampire become ghouls, who then try to feast on other humans. This sword, she said, tapping the scabbard, has been blessed by the church and is capable of putting him to rest. Her words brought the bizarre spectacle he had just witnessed back to the front of his mind. While he was interested in the church part of her statement, he had more pressing questions to ask. You're seriously saying that this was the work of a vampire? You really expect me to believe something so ridiculous? Whether you choose to believe it or not is the truth. A very unfortunate truth, but a truth nonetheless. She said in the same cool, disinteresting tone. Alphonse struggled with it. The truth as she presented it beggared belief, and yet everything she said added up and seemed consistent. It was equally hard to believe that everything was a lie. He subconsciously touched his throat. The ache there only bolstered her position. He found himself willing to believe her. There is a vampire in this city, of that I am certain. And I, she continued, placing a hand on her chest, am here to put an end to it. A period of silence followed. Undeterred, the woman began to talk again. Still, this is not ordinarily a matter that layman should be involved with, so I would recommend that you, Forge, forget all that you have seen and heard here. And I prefer, she added with a meaningful glance, if you kept all this to yourself as well. She turned to walk away. Wait, Alphonse called out to her. He swallowed and stood a little straighter. Will you allow me to help you? And the bondwoman came to an abrupt halt. She turned her head to question him. It was clear that his sudden question had caught her off guard. Slowly, she faced him with him completely. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting you to propose something quite that ludicrous. What could I possibly stand to gain by allowing you to help me? Her tone was as sharp as ever, but Alphonse was a face. Around 10 years ago, both my parents were killed. They died the exact same way as the victims of vampire murders. Shock showed through the woman's normally blank expression. Alphonse, can you? Fuck you, man. I don't remember much about that day, but there's one thing I can't forget. One thing I'll never be able to forget. As he spoke, the memory returned vividly to him. Roughly 10 years ago, Alphonse and his family had lived in a village in a remote region of the Empire. His father was a member of the army, serving in a unit stationed nearby, but it was an uneventful post, and they lived a quiet life. It was as normal and peaceful in existence as one could have until that fateful day, when Alphonse returned from playing outside. It was then that he saw a sight that would be burned into his memories and his dreams forever. There in his home, he found the corpse of his parents laying in a room stained with blood. Their bodies had been drained and their necks were marked by strange bites. The incident was so unpleasant and bizarre that even then there were those who believed that it was the work of a vampire. The army conducted an investigation, but were unable to find any clues that would lead them to a suspect, and eventually, when the case was deemed unsolvable, left with no living family, Alphonse was taken in by his father's best friend and fellow soldier in the army, Gerard, and ended up living in Heimdall. If what she was saying was true, the vampires really did exist, then maybe one was actually responsible for his parents' deaths. From the look on her face, it seemed that she too thought that could be the case. Alphonse shook his head, though it was more for himself. It doesn't really matter if it was the work of a vampire or not. I feel as though by solving this case, I'll finally be able to move on from what happened that day. That's why. Another long silence fell between them. The blonde woman seemed to be deep in thought, and Alphonse waited patiently for her reply. Eventually, she let out a short sigh. As part of the army, you have access to restricted information on the murders. Perhaps your assistance might allow me to find a vampire more quickly. She put her hand inside her coat and took out a short sword with the same silvery glow as rapier she had used earlier. This will allow you to fight against ghouls and vampires. If you'll be cooperating with me, I expect you to protect yourself. Alphonse glanced at her face. Her expression clearly said that she wouldn't brook any nonsense. His resolve would need to be firm and unwavering, and he would need to be prepared to encounter more ghouls, like the one from before. Furthermore, he would have to be ready to face a vampire lurking in the city once and for all. With a resolute air, he accepted the sword from her. My name's Alphonse, but everyone just calls me Al. The blonde woman looked down at her now empty fucking hand, and the corners of her lips quirked up slightly. She raised the edges of the skirt underneath her coat and gave him a respectful courtesy. My name is Rose. I imagine that our time together will be brief, but I look forward to working with you nonetheless. Huh, nice story. Cool, okay. Oh. Holy shit. Excuse me, are you Father Zerbal? That's correct. And you would be, oh, I see, you must be the students who will be helping with my request. That's us who came here from Thors Military Academy. I expected as much. Thank you for taking the time to come and speak with me. I'd like to request that you collect the greens. I need to make some medicine. Do you have time to do this request for me? Ready for help? My thanks. That's what sort of medicine these ingredients will be used for. Essentially, medicine deal with the common cold by strengthening the body's immune system. Many people tend to catch it during the spring and fall. When the temperature switches between hot and cold, you see, this is why I ended up running out in the first place. Oh, that makes sense. I've had to rely on the church for medicine a bunch of times too. Definitely made my life easier. Haha. I agree. We owe much to the vast amount of medical knowledge the church possesses. We really do, especially since modern pharmaceuticals still can't compare to it. You students certainly know your stuff. But getting back to the matter at hand, there are two ingredients I want you to collect for me. The first is a medical plant known as a bear claw, which grows in human areas. It's not common to find them growing in Celtic, but you can still get them at the Grand Market. There's a drugstore run by Manny Flint. Tell him that I sent you. I'll know that down. The ingredient is Imperial carrots. You can get these from a farmer named Paul, who lives in a farmhouse on the West Cedric Highway. Let me tell him I sent you, and he should share something with you. Understood. That should be it. Then, is there anything you'd like me to go over again? No, it's fine. Which of two that you should make away first? Doesn't make it matter. Yeah, I agree. Be off then, Father. I'll be waiting your return. Yeah. Yeah. Huh? Where you get it from? Amazon? Yeah. Welcome. Anything specific you're looking for? This is the story that Father Zero mentioned. We're on behalf of Father Zero, actually. He asked us to come here to collect a bear claw for you. Oh, is that so? Here you go, then. Thank you, sir. I'm surprised at how thorny this is, though, considering it's a medicinal herb. There's a to a bear's claws is where it gets its name from, after all. Unrelated, but my supply of them happens to come from a burrow, and they were thrown in to Hiram, where I had them sent along by train. Well, really, I guess it just shows how much of a big deal this market is. Yeah, there really is a bunch of unusual stuff here. Narc's popularity is well justified. Well, then we should make our way to the farmhouse on the Western Highway next. Yeah, let's get this over with quickly. Who might you be? I don't recall seeing you around here. Do you have some form of identification? Soldiers, wait, I think I recognize those uniforms. We're from students at the Thors Military Academy. We're currently visiting Celtic as part of the field study. Thors, you mean the Thors? Now that you mentioned it, I do recognize the album. My apologies for ruins. We're members of the Cruisin Provincial Army. Our main duty is to keep the peace in Celtic. The Provincial Army isn't that. Their military forces operated by the ruling lord of each province, charged with maintaining security. they function as a secondary unit separate from the formal Imperial unit. I've never heard of any field study program at Thor. It seems a little early in the year for something like that too. But many graduates of your academy currently serve in our ranks. So you be sure to uphold the academy's good name. Don't do anything you shouldn't. Thank you very much. Be sure to not let you down. I'm glad to hear it. Take care now. And keep your noses clean. We will. That includes our patrol back to the guardhouses, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. Name was scary. And they're the cruising provincial army. Does that mean they're ruled by, you spam the Alba Reyes. Celtic is in the northern part of their territory after all. I think it would be best for us to keep out of their way. We should return to the task at hand. Hey, buddy. Hey. It's okay.
All these windmills sure make the town feel pretty laid back.
True. This scenery is surprisingly relaxing. I welcome all challengers.
Oh, fuck off, man.
Arcus,
My turn!
Right.
Yeah. King Dragonfly, a large dragonfly monster that flies around near fields, expels poisonous liquids from the organism's
It's
body.
my turn.
Okay. Oh. Yeah.
Turn to flame now.
I'll pick you up!
my turn.
I'll do that so all the time.
Right! Oh, we did it!
I welcome all challengers.
Go!
Death Karga, a land-dwelling mollusk monster with a hard shell, steals life from his prey, then finishes it with war arts.
My turn!
Of course.
I can do this. Fire!
Right. Hey, now. Your swordsmanship
I've got a
gets
way to
better
go
with
to get to
every
your
battle.
level.
They caught us off guard, but no moment.
My turn.
Turn to flame! Burn!
Yeah. Yeah, it has everything. Evil crow, an unpleasant bird with a distinctive large beak, has a ferocious appetite, swallowing small creatures whole.
Right.
Of course. Evil will fall before my blade.
Stefan's roll is eventually in the back crystal. I think I'll pass on going all the way back there on flick. Thanks.
It's a treasure chest!
Bring it on! Here we go! Arcus, activate!
Turn to flame! Burn!
Right.
Fanged wolf, a wolf monster that moves in packs. Attacks prey with its powerful fang.
My turn. Shatter!
Go! There!
Right. Is everybody okay?
AP1. Alright, so all right, for some guys, Prince 3 out. Peace with you, dinner. We'll see you later. Bye bye.